You're too young to be making music. You can't succeed in the music industry at your age. You'll want a real job soon. This one is for all you young musicians who are constantly told that you can't succeed. The majority of artists have been into music from a young age. You might have learnt how to play an instrument at school, or perhaps you became obsessed with your parents' vinyl collection. Whatever it is, you started from a young age. That passion came from your youth. But for some reason, there is this stigma in the music industry that young people can't succeed. They're not taken seriously. We receive countless messages on Instagram from young artists who say that my parents won't let me practice as much as I'd like to. I don't have the money to create and distribute music, let alone market it. No one takes me seriously at my age. Well, all of this needs to stop. Young artists have the exact same potential that older artists do. They might be just as talented. They might have just as dedicated fan base. What's the difference from a 15-year-old artist and a 50-year-old artist? If they create good quality music, they care about their fan base, they're putting out good content, then who cares? So in this video, I'm going to teach all of you young artists how to ignore everyone else and actually succeed in this music industry. Because it doesn't matter if you're 10, if you're 18, if you're 24, if you're 50, you can succeed in this industry. As a young artist, you most probably live at home, which means your parents have some control over your life. You most probably don't have much money. You most probably care quite a bit about what your friends think, and you most probably think you're not going to be taken seriously until you're older. So those are your 4 main issues. Let's work around those because they're not really issues. Nothing is getting in your way from succeeding in the music industry. Often this age thing is used for the blame game. A lot of artists at the age of 15 to 25 say, because I'm young, no one's taking me seriously. No one's even giving me a shot. I don't have the money, so this industry is impossible to work in if you don't have any money. All lies, all can be worked around, and I'm going to teach you that today. But before anything else, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you join this community because we are uploading 3 times a week now. So let's start with the main issue that a lot of young artists have, and that's having no money. So you might still be at school, you might be too young to work. You're not going to have any money. You're going to be depending on your parents to financially support you. Therefore, you can't go around expecting them to finance your music career. Instead, you need to think smart. You need to work smart. And that's easy to do because this industry is easier than ever for emerging artists. You do not need that money. You can create music in your bedroom, playing your instruments, and then recording it on a software that is free. And then you can upload it for free onto SoundCloud, onto YouTube, all of the free platforms. And then you can promote it for free through social media. You can grow a fan base on social media without actually releasing any music officially. So you might have no music on Spotify, but you might communicate with your fans through Instagram. You might do covers on Instagram, you might do live sessions. There is so much potential through social media now, and none of that demands you having a massive budget. But you also might have a little bit of money, which means that you can pay a distributor to upload your music to streaming platforms. And then you can use our video on how to promote your music on zero budget to market that music. So I'll make sure to link that one below. And it's a super simple guide for artists teaching you how you can promote your music effectively with no money at all. There are platforms like Spotify, which you can easily get your music on playlists. Or there's TikTok, where you could get your track to go viral. There are so many platforms now which are completely free for artists, which mean that if you're a millionaire or you're a kid with no money at all, you're still in the same position. It's all down to the music. So before anything else, before thinking about how you don't have any money, before thinking about how people are judging you because of your age, focus on the quality of music. And as you're a young person, time is on your side. You've got all of this time to practice. You've got all of this time to really perfect your craft. And with the internet, you have blog posts, you have YouTube tutorials, you have so much you can do to learn how to play your instrument, how to use a certain software, and all of that is free. The second thing that a lot of young artists worry about is other people's opinions. And I know this one isn't just young artists, so if you're an older artist, this one would be fitting for you as well. Caring about other people's opinion on your music, on your social media content, on your live shows, can be a little bit toxic. Of course, you need to get honest points of view about your music, about your content, all of these things, because otherwise you're going to think you're amazing, and if you get a bad comment and you ignore it, you're going to be stuck, you're never going to progress. But worrying so much about other people's opinions will drive you insane. We often find that young artists are so worried about what family and friends are thinking, and they end up not creating the content, not creating the music that they want because they're creating something for them. That's why we always suggest, no matter if you're 15 or 50, to have a separate profile for your music and your personal account. Because if you have your personal account and you're posting your music stuff on there, you'll find that you're actually providing content for your family and friends rather than your target audience. And then you're stuck in this position where you're constantly creating content but for them. And that's pointless because they're not real fans. Your family and friends aren't going to be a lifelong fan. They're not going to come to every single gig because they're family and friends. They're there for you rather than the music. You also might be thinking that people are judging your content, judging your music because you're young, but there are tons of successful people that when they were younger, yeah, people might have laughed at them, but they kept going. And now they're so successful. Mark Zuckerberg, he started Facebook at the age of 19. People thought it was being a bit stupid. People thought he was wasting his time. He is now a billionaire. Jojo Siwa, who is now 16, she started on Dance Moms when she was so young. And people probably took the mick out of her. They probably didn't take her that seriously because she used to wear these massive bows, wore really out there outfits. Very, very commercial pop music she was making as well. But now she's estimated to be worth over $10 million. All of these people started at a young age, and because they were young, people may not have taken them seriously. But now the point they're at, they're not looking back at when they were 15, when they were 10, when they were 20, thinking, God, I wish I didn't do that because that was embarrassing. People always laugh until you're successful. So when we started creating content, we got comments from family and friends. We got comments from people saying how it was a bit pointless. What are you doing? You have a business. Why are you creating videos? But now we have some sort of following. People don't say that. But we're doing the exact same thing. And it's the same for artists. You'll find that when people start creating content, when people start putting out music, and a lot of friends and family are surprised by this, people do take the mick. They do laugh. If you're doing something you love, you're doing something that you want to do for the rest of your life, you're already successful. You're already smashing it because you're doing what a lot of people aren't. So when you're creating something, when you're about to upload something and you're worried about what other people are thinking, think about if you had 100,000 followers or you had 2 million streams. How would you feel about uploading that? You'd probably feel a little bit different. So stop focusing on what other people think because it's so toxic. It will ruin your music career no matter what age you are. Young musicians are actually in a better position than anyone else. You have time on your side. You can perfect your craft. You can find what sort of content works for your audience. You can experiment a bit with your content, with your music. You have time to grow. Also, what works in the favor of young people? You have been brought up with social media. You naturally know how to use the internet, how to use social media because you've grown up with it. It's been part of your everyday life. Look at people that are a lot older. They lived some of their life without the internet. So this idea of the music industry being based online now, that people don't buy music, they stream it, seems crazy to a lot of older artists. You, a young artist, have all of that on your side. So stop playing the blame game. The market doesn't care about your age, your gender, your sexuality. They just want good music. So for all of you young artists out there, make good music. Don't blame your age and absolutely smash it. I hope you found this video useful for all of you young artists, and if you did, hit that like button. And if you haven't joined the community yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell so you're notified when we upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon in another video.